God's not dead, no, He is alive. God's not dead, no, He is alive. God's not dead, no, He is alive. I feel Him in my hands, I feel Him in my feet, I feel Him in the earth, and I feel Him on the street, beep, beep, I feel Him in the air, I feel Him everywhere, I feel Him all over me. No, 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 God's not dead, no, He is alive. God's not dead, no, He is alive. God's not dead, no, He is alive. I feel Him in my hands, I feel Him in my feet, I feel Him in the earth, and I feel Him on the street, beep, beep, I feel Him in the air, I feel Him everywhere, I feel Him all over me. No, 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 God's not dead, no. Have you ever seen God before? If not, how can you know that He is alive? Well, let's talk about it this morning. When we think about that song, God's Not Dead, we sing that we see Him everywhere, and we know that He is alive, and we know that He's around. And so if we haven't seen Him face to face, but we see Him everywhere, what does that look like? And what can I look for so that I can see God in my life today? So, our memory verse for today is going to come from 1 John. There's a gospel called John at the beginning of the New Testament, and then there is a letter called 1 John at the end of the New Testament. So we're in 1 John, the letter at the end of the New Testament, chapter 4, verse number 8. 1 John 4 and verse 8. Your memory verse this week for the Tree of Knowledge says, He that loves not knows not God, for God is love. Think about that. One of the greatest ways that we can know that God is alive today is that love exists. Love exists. Love is here. It's all around us. And so we can know that God is alive by the way that we love. So if we feel God in our hands, what are some ways in which we know God is alive by our hands? Well, maybe you have used your hands to show love. Maybe you've taken your hands and you've gone and you've picked up a piece of construction paper, or you've picked up a card and you've taken it to a desk or a table in your house, and you've gotten out your crayons with your hands, or your markers or your pencils, and as you get all those things together, you start to write someone a card who's sick, and you take it and you fold it up and you put it in an envelope and you put it in the mail to send to them. Or maybe you've taken your hands and you and your parents have put together a meal for someone. Maybe they've just had surgery, or maybe they've had a family member that's died, or maybe they just need food. They're not able to get a lot of food on their own. And so you've put that meal together with love. You've carried it to somebody in need, somebody who needs encouragement, someone who needs lifted up. So there are ways that we use our hands, many, many ways, more than what I've described, to show love. How do we use our feet? We said we feel God in our feet. How do we use our feet to show love? Maybe we use our feet to go and talk to somebody about Jesus and tell somebody how loving and caring Jesus is, and how he gives us this love and this joy and all the things that we have in Jesus. That'd be a wonderful way. Maybe we use our feet to walk over to somebody who doesn't have anybody to play with. And we tell them, hey, my name is so-and-so. I would like to play with you. Would you like to play with me? And maybe they've been all alone on the playground, or maybe they've been all alone in the play area at school or at daycare, and they were lonely. And they were sad because they didn't have anybody to play with. Your feet can be that love, and you can share God with them that way. What a powerful thing. What a wonderful thing that you can do to make them feel happy and make them feel loved. Feel it in my hands. I feel it in my feet. I feel it in the earth. Is there a way that we feel the love of God in the earth? I think so. As we look around our neighborhoods, you probably have seen a garden or two, and those gardens grow, and God helps them to grow, and that food fills our bellies, and through that we can feel the love of God as He takes care of us and He gives us what we need. When we also feel it in the street, we give that little car horn. Sometimes that car horn doesn't sound too loving, does it? But what about if you're passing by someone that you know? You see them on the other side of the road, or you see them on a side street as you're going. You give them a little honk and a wave to tell them, hey, I know you. It's good to see you. I'm glad I passed you on the road. And we see that love. But, also we know that on the street we can be kind. You're not driving yet, of course, but maybe you notice that your parents say, come on, have this better parking space. We'll go find another one. Or, come on, go ahead of me. Traffic's been crazy. Get out on the road. I'll let you by. And so there are ways that we can show love even while we're driving our cars. We feel it in our hands. We feel it in our feet. We feel it in the air, and we feel it we feel it in the earth, and we feel it on the street. We feel it in the air. How do we feel the love of God in the air? Well, breathing is something that can tell us that God exists. God breathed life into us from the very beginning. So we know the love of God just by the simple fact that we have life and that God has given it to us. We also can feel the love of God through the sunshine, giving us a new day, and we can feel the love of God through the rain as He replenishes the earth with the water that it needs. And so there's lots of ways that we can feel God in the air and know that His love is real for us through those different things. We also feel God all over us. You feel God's love all over you. Why? How? Well, because God's love teaches you things. God's love allows you to feel certain things. When you think about how you speak, God teaches us to be kind with our words and to be careful with our words, to say good things that help people. We want to say things that are nice. We want to say things that are kind. We want to say things that make people feel good about themselves and make people feel loved and cared for in the way that we talk, the way that we think. God tells us how to think in ways where we think about good stuff. We think about things that are filled with light. And we think about things that are filled with love, and things that are filled with hope, and things that are filled with goodness. And God also wants us to think about ways that we can avoid the bad things. That we can avoid what's dark and what's scary. Things that are bad and evil that hurt other people. We don't want to think about those things. We want to think about God's things. So we feel God in that way. We also feel God in the things that he gives us when it comes to what the Bible teaches us. Can you feel joy all over you sometimes? Yeah, we can. We could get so excited about what's going on in our lives, and we can feel that joy from the top to the bottom. Where does that joy come from? It comes from God. And God's love for us gives us joy. Can we feel peace? Can we be comforted? Can we feel like everything's going to be okay because we serve God? Yes, we can. And that feeling can go all over us and give us a comfort and a contentment, or this feeling that everything is going to be okay. And I am perfectly fine right where I am. This is the best place for me to be. I have the best things I could have. I am I am blessed by the best people that I could be blessed with, all because I serve God, and God loves me. And so those are great feelings that we can have from God. And so we can feel God all over us. So I want you to know, as you look around the world and you see signs of love, you're seeing signs of God. And because God exists, or because love exists rather, we can know beyond a shadow of a doubt. We can know the best we could know anything, that God exists, that God is living, and that God is active. God's not dead. No, he's alive.